Hello, you guys. Let's talk about Chapter 9, Lesson 5, Scale Drawings and Models. Now, everybody's seen a scale drawing. You've seen a map in history, or, for example, this picture here, a scale drawing of an airplane. So it's a proportional drawing of a real-life object. Now, I bet a lot of you have played with scale models. For example, Hot Wheels or something like that. So a proportional model of an object. So obviously this little car is not a real life size. You couldn't get in it, but you could play with it. All right, and then scale. Well, scale is the distance on a picture or a model over the real life size. And so you'll hear me say a lot, little over big. Okay, here come the animals. Little over big. And a scale, for example, I bet you didn't know this, that Hot Wheels uses a scale of 1 to 64 in order to create all of their little Hot Wheel toys. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Example 1, I just had to break up a little brawl between my dog Fiona and the cat Kitty. So anyway, let's see how this goes. Example 1, using a scale drawing. The scale on a map of California is 1 inch over 16 miles. That means 1 inch on the drawing represents 16 miles in real life. The actual distance between San Francisco and Sacramento is 80 miles. Find the distance on the map. Okay, so we're going to set up proportions, okay? So always start with a scale. So I put 1 inch over 16 miles, then put the equal sign, draw your fraction bar, and then you put inches over miles. And you look at what they gave us. Do you notice how they gave us 80 miles? So I'm going to put the 80 miles down on the bottom in the denominator, and I put x on the top with the inches. And then to solve it, let's use cross products. So start at the 16 and shoot the arrow across. So 16 times x gives us 16x. Start at the 80 and shoot the arrow across. 80 times 1 gives us 80. And then bring those numbers down. So 80 equals 16x. And if I want to solve for x, I circle the variable, bring down the wall. See this multiplying by 16? The only way to destroy it is to divide both sides by 16. So I get x equals 5. Now you have to label it to show me you know what you're solving for. See how they wanted us to solve for inches? So I know it's going to be 5 inches. Look at the guided practice. They want us to use the same information from example 1. So they want us to find the distance between Orange and Death Valley on the map is 12 inches. Find the actual distance. Okay, so always start with a scale. So 1 inch over 16 miles, that was a scale. Put your equal sign, draw your fraction bar, and then put inches over miles. Now this time they gave us 12 inches, so notice how the 12 has to go on top with the label of inches, and the x goes on the bottom with the miles, so that's what we're trying to find. And now, do the cross product. So 16 times 12 gives me 192, x times 1 gives me 1x. And so I just know that x equals 192. And remember, we were solving for miles, so it's just miles. Okay, look at example 2 with me, finding a scale. An architect builds a scale model of a new art museum. The height of the museum is to be 32 feet tall. The model built by the architect is 8 inches tall. Find the model scale. So we want to write a ratio. And remember, the word ratio means a fraction. So we're writing a ratio to find the actual scale. So you always have to simplify it so that the numerator is 1. Remember, before we wanted the denominator to be 1. Now we want the numerator to be 1, the top number. So if I start off with 8 inches over 32 feet, because remember, the model, the little goes on top, the big goes on the bottom. And so then I just try to get the numerator, the top number, to be 1. So I divide both the top and the bottom by 8. So I get 1 inch over 4 feet. So that means the scale is 1 inch, and then use the colon, the 2 dots, compared to 4 feet. So 1 inch on the model is 4 feet in real life. And then for the movie clue today, I want you to write something right here that I'll tell you at the end, but it's going to go right here by example 2. Okay, so take a look at example 3 with me. A model car. You are building a model car that has total length of 6 inches. If the scale of this model is 1 inch to 1.5 feet, how long is the actual car? So let's always start with the scale, okay? The scale is the length of the model car over the length of the real car. So we start off with 1 inch compared to 1.5 feet, then put your equal sign, put a fraction bar, and then the 6 inches, obviously that's not real life, that's just the model. So we're going to put the 6 inches on top and X feet down below. Remember, we want the labels to match. And now do the cross product. So 1.5 times 6 gives me 9, and X times 1 gives me X. So I bring that down. X, bring down the equal sign, equals 9. And then remember, use the label of feet. So X equals 9 feet. So the actual car would be 9 feet long, and that would match D as in dog. Okay, and my dog right now is chewing on her chewy toy, if you hear that funny sound. Okay, take a look at the guided practice number 2. An interior designer uses a scale drawing to help design a kitchen. The length of the kitchen is 20 feet, and the length of the drawing is 8 inches. Find the drawing scale. So remember, we always want to put the drawing over the actual, and so that would be 8 inches over 20 feet. Now remember, it's our job to make the scale, the top number, become 1. So that means I'm going to divide both the top and the bottom by 8. So I get 1 inch equals 2.5 feet, or 2.5 feet, so that's my scale, 1 inch compared to 2.5 feet. Okay, and the movie clue this time, I want you to write where I told you earlier to write it, and I want you to just write the words Hot Wheels, because Hot Wheels are a great example of a scale model.